Hi guys, hello and welcome back to another issue of the Mortal Realms magazine. So this week we take a look at issue number 26. So we notice quickly by the cover that we have scenery, so no models or figures per se this week, but definitely no paints. Okay, so what you want to see is the nice big sprue. Okay, so this apparently is going to be the Azurite Ruin sprue. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to pop up top, show you what's in the magazine, go away, build these lovely ruins, come back, do a showcase, and we'll take it from there. So folks, issue number 26, starting off as always with our £7.99 price tag, Warhammer The Age of Sigmar, Mortal Realms. Then we drop down to a picture of our scenery, our model kit this week, Battle Games in the Age of Sigmar, and then we go to our bullet point, which is the Azurite Ruin. Okay, discover the Sylvaneth and movement tutorial. So let's have a look what's on the inside cover. Okay, so in this issue we have Storm Hosts Part 6. Okay, discover more mighty storm hosts and how they interact with the mortals that they were sworn to protect. Sylvaneth, the children of Alarail, are fusions of flesh, plant and spirit, all made possible through the power of life magic. Okay, so we're introduced to a new race. The battle report. The Battle of the Fire Fang. The Tempest Lords defend against the Blades of Khorne in Aqshy. How to build the Azurite Ruin. How to paint the Azurite Ruin. Movement phase tutorial. Okay, so explains how to move your models using visual examples. And then we've got some more war scrolls. We've got the Evocators. We have Dreadsight Harridans. This has all the rules you need to use the Dreadsight Harridans in your games. And lifting the curse. As Andrea Zorbelt and her retinue delve deep into the forest to lift the Briar Queen's curse from the ancient ruins. So that'll be our battle plan. Okay, for this issue. There we go. We have the editor's bit there for any who follow along. And then we go straight into our Storm Hosts Part 6. Shining Exemplars. Okay, so it tells us a little bit about those and then shows us again some lovely examples of some of the different armours and colours of these various chapters. Okay, the Astral Templars, the Helven Sons, the Tempest Lords. We come down to the Sons of the Storm and the Silent Host. I really like this one, the Astral Templars. Okay. Amongst mere mortals. Okay, so it tells us something a little bit more about the Tempest Lords. And again, starting already guys, the artwork. And then we get introduced to the Sylvaneth. Okay, so just a quick example there of a little bit of this lovely artwork. So Sylvaneth Part 1. The Sylvaneth are the children of Alarail, the Ever Queen. They are woodland spirits who share Sigmar's hatred for the forces of chaos. They are a force to be feared even amongst the other races of Order. For many who enter the dark groves in which they make their homes never return. Okay, so it's obviously a nature force. Okay, so we have here, oh look at that. Tell you what, I've said time and time again, loads of this, if it wasn't copyrighted, to make like a, amazing tattoos for you guys and girls out there who like your ink. Okay, so we go with the Spirit Song, the Wild Woods. Tells us a little about Gyron, which is the realm of life. Gives us a wee map there, okay? And then we go on to the realms, and this is the battle report. The fate of Firefang. From the swirling demonic depths of the Clavis Rift, Khorne's followers and their demon allies strike out towards Firefang. Total slaughter, their objective. Only the Tempest Lords stand in their way. Okay, so we get a little bit of a map there of the Great Parch area. A little bit more bump. Some absolutely lovely artwork again, guys. It says, amidst the raging inferno of fire, ash and blood, Decian Calathar meets a blood warrior in single combat. Okay, and again, obviously we're just continuing the different story there. And then we go over to our guide, how to build the Azurite Ruin. So we see our sprue on there, guys. Clip of safety, please don't chop your fingers off. Okay, and it just tells us about careful gluing Basically just apply your glue properly, not like I do where I just splodge it everywhere. And this looks like a nice easy build. There's obviously just a few pieces that go together well. Little confession, guys, I've actually built this kit before. It's in another box set, so I'm familiar with it. And how to paint the Azurite Rune. Okay, so it tells us to get the Corax White out and give it a base coat like that. Next, your Agrax Earthshade, which is your ink, and we're just basically going along there to get this kind of effect, like your stone effect, where you'll pick up all the details, like so. And then dry brush with Corax White, and you're looking to do something like this. So what you've done basically, you've undercoated it, you've inked it, now you dry brushed it to bring up the little highlights, which can be seen there in closer detail on like the walls and the little bricks. Okay, little example there. And then Mechanicus Standard Grey to paint in some of the bricks, so you're getting an effect like so. And a little illustration there just to show us where we're going with this. Okay, again, another dry brush of the Corax White, and you'll see that that'll bring out the grey in the bricks there. This, guys, is just like a really, really lovely effect. So simple to do, but you know, it really does make the scenery come alive. And then again, we're going to just go over those bricks with the Agrax Earthshade, the ink, to just give it a little bit of texture. So these guys, like I say every week, like, you know, it's like the easiest technique. I think it was like the first technique I ever learned, dry brushing. But, you know, put it in along with ink, and, you know, you can see what you're looking to achieve there. You know, look at that, guys. You know, a really, really simple paint job with only a few steps. And that's the kind of level that you're looking to achieve, even for beginners. Okay, so obviously tells us that's our finished terrain. And then we go into the movement phase tutorial. Okay, so this looks like a new section where they're going to go through all the actual phases individually. The hero phase, the movement phase, you know, all combat and the shooting and all that sort of stuff. So we are now, like I said last week, going into the game a little bit more now, making it a little bit more complex, which is good. It tells you about unit cohesion, which is basically you've got to keep, I think it's like an inch between models. Obviously, your troops, like your units, your characters are separate, okay? Then just gives examples of like flying models there, or models that can climb or jump. Okay, moving past terrain, moving through terrain, so that would be handy for your Nighthorns who actually ignore it because they are ethereal. I think that rule means they're like ghosts, so they just fly through things. Then we get this week's War Scroll, which is the Evocators, which, as by now, guys, your typical War Scroll, everything you need to know. Your movement, your wounds, your bravery, your save, any weapons they carry, what magic they do, etc. And then the abilities, which just go into greater detail, so when you're actually playing these guys for the first few times, you know what you're doing, okay? And the same game again for the Dread Scythe Harridans of the Nighthorns. And their abilities: Slasher Crone, Howling Shriek, Murderous Bloodlust, okay? And just examples of the dice rolls that you need. And then we have a look at Lifting the Curse, and this is the one where Xandria Azurbolt swept aside another trailing curtain of vines with her staff. The forest was thick here, yet it was still quiet, etc, etc, etc. Okay, so we're going to bring our runes in here by the look of it. And that looks like what our battle plan is going to be laid out like. Yeah, there we go, guys, okay? Just confirming that there. So there's Thorns of the Briar Queen with some Dread Scythe Harridans, and they're going to face off against some Sequitors, Xandria, and an Evocator Prime. Okay, so yeah, looks like a nice little battle, that one there. So it tells us our armies again, how we set up. The Stormcast player has the first turn, and guess what? We go with Glorious Victory again. Basically wipe your opponent off the field. Okay. They're now familiar. Back page, Mortal Realms, a little bit of guidance, tells us where to go from there. Basically a store finder. Games Workshop's website, etc. The Warhammer community, full of cool folks who can give you more advice than I can. A little bit of artwork there, which is absolutely lovely. And I say it every week, exploration. Basically, go to Games Workshop, lose your wallet, okay? And what you're all here for, or certainly I used to be when I've seen these things previewed in the past. Coming to the Mortal Realms, issue 27, Stormsires, Curse Breakers. Okay, so we're going to be getting some new Stormcast models. Quick outline of what issue 27 looks like. We'll leave it there, guys. I'm going to go away, build this scenery, and we'll come back and finish off. So folks, here we are back after completing this kit. Just let me say and go on record straight away, guys, this is one of the nicest kits you can have. It's in about 8 pieces and everything just slots together perfect. Like I said before, I built this kit in another game, Warcry. So in some ways, you know, Games Workshop have kind of took the kit and stuck it into here as well, but, you know, it's no great crime. Okay, so I'm going to start off slowly with a little piece, and this is just a little flat piece that's just going to basically lie down on the floor like that and give us a little bit of effect outside the ruins. Okay. Then our next bit is a small piece of wall. I mean, even now, you know, like look at the detail in these, look at those bricks. Going back to like the tutorial that we had before, and you can see how easy this thing's can actually paint up, you know. You could do this in probably like an afternoon, you know. You really could. And then the main bulk of the kit itself is the main rune. And, you know, again, you can see the detail in this, guys. You know, the statues there, little detail like the heads there, look like kind of lions. A little bit of inscription. You come down onto like the bricks, and then we have our pillars, and again these go together just really nice, guys. You know, it's pretty generic, I'll be honest, like, you know, as a kit, but I mean, you know, for you guys who are like new to Age of Sigmar or indeed miniature games, you know, you could use this in something like a Frostgrave or another kind of fantasy game. You know, you don't have to necessarily you know, play it for like Age of Sigmar. You know, all these games are sort of interchangeable. You'll find as you get playing, you know, going back to like, obviously the patterns are sort of similar to like around the walls, but this really is nice, you know. And again, as I said, you know, the scenery, it just helps to break up like the line of sight, and there's like the roof there, so you can put sort of like your models on there, you know. So yeah, really nice kit, guys. Really happy with this. You know, it's going to be a nice addition to our mausoleum as well, you know. And hopefully they're going to carry on putting more of these kits in there, and our games can become that little bit more interesting. Okay, so without further ado, guys, that has been this issue. I'm going to pop off, and I'll see you all for the next one.